Hi, my name is Dee. Thank you for joining me. When Candace Bly gave birth to Summer Wells, she didn't want her. She gave up 2 daughters before that to adoption. Don was bad man. 2 little girls, and Candace knew that. She had to have known it. She gave up 2 little girls before Summer was born. And I'm not going after anything Fred Hill said. I'm going by what was said before Fred. What was different about Summer? Why did they keep her? Was it because she was the prettiest one? Who took care of Summer while Don was at work? I bet Don Wells was like a wolf on that little girl. Candace never met Don's family. That's why she didn't know about his sisters. But she knew about those 2 little girls Don did something to, or with, or touched them. She knew about that enough to give them away. She knew. Candace Bly knew.
Was ruled out and a kidnapper conclusively decided upon. That is the sign that they know more than they're saying, that they might actually know what happened to her, and they're pushing a kidnapping narrative.
There has been no urgency in this case on the parents' part. 0, nada, none. They used past tense in their very first interviews. They pushed the kidnapping narrative too hard, and their script.
Okay.
You'd be lucky to get wet enough to do anything.
Okay. All right. So let's pick it up from where, and I'm going to just use this little one. Is that okay? Okay. So from where, when you got home, now she's leaning.
My mom's truck parks here.
Okay. Your mom's truck's right here.
Yes.
Okay. So when she's leaning against the milk. Is she sleeping?
She was sleeping. Yes.
Okay. From exhaustion from that day.
Yes, she was. Where I woke her up early, and she usually sleeps until 9, 10, even 12 o'clock if I let her.
Okay.
I had a little girl one time, and she never, ever slept till 12 o'clock noon. Summer Wells probably slept till noon because she was being robbed of her sleep after 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because she was in bed with Don Wells. God only knows what happened to that little girl.
How did the milk bottles get rearranged? Hunter said he had them on the floor and then he put them next to him.
They weren't.
Is that true?
No.
Okay, so walk me through that.
When we dropped them off, they were actually still on his lap.
Okay.
And he put them on the other side of Summer.
Okay. So he reached over?
Yeah, he set them over there by that. That's a black tote she had in there.
Okay. Was there, where's that tote at?
I think actually my mom's got it still in her truck. It's got a bunch of crafts and stuff in it.
Okay. Got it. And now from when you pulled up, did she just fall asleep next to that?
She fell asleep, I'd say maybe 5 minutes on the road.
We're peeling back the layers to try to get to the truth. So far, I think Candace and Don know what happened to Summer. It's unclear when they did what they did to Summer. I don't know exactly when they did it or who was involved besides them. Earlier that day, they took Summer and some other people to like a watering hole to go swimming. So we'll analyze those interviews later. Right now, I want to focus on what Chris McDonough is going to uncover about the day Summer allegedly went missing.
And then, so walk me through, you get home, you take the groceries inside. Is Don home, by the way?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Actually, I parked the truck, and I opened both doors. It's really hard because this lawnmower of his. But I opened the doors up, and I shook someone. I said, wake up. I parked the truck, and I opened both doors. It's really hard because this lawnmower of his. But I opened the doors up, and I shook someone. I said, wake up. We're at home. She jumped right up.
Why did Candace Bly even add that in? Because she wants you to think Summer had life at that point, or was, quote, lively, unquote.
Like nothing. I unbuckled her and I said, come on. I said, Mom, I'll be right back. Went in there and he got the boys and they were sitting at the table.
Some hints that there were sedatives or at least painkillers involved in that day's activities. They went to go pick up a prescription, allegedly for the grandma's hurt knee. However, they also said that after they picked up the prescription for grandma's knee, which was bothering her, they did gardening, which is not an activity I would expect someone to do if their knee is hurting. If your knee is hurting so much that you need to go pick up painkillers, it's unlikely that you're going to then say, hey, let's start gardening.
And according to what Dudley said to JLR and Molly Golightly and Olivia, Grandma went and picked up pills the week before when they got into an accident in the Dollar General parking lot, and Grandma got an ambulance to the hospital to get some pain pills.
So what did they do with that painkiller or that sedative or whatever prescription they picked up? It might have been used on Summer to pass her out in order to do whatever they did with her.
Don Wells and Candace Bly raised Summer Moon Wells for 5 years, doing the unthinkable, the most unthinkable things you could ever imagine they did to that child, and they both need to be in prison for the rest of their lives. And Grandma too, because she knew about it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. That's just my opinion. If you believe this or if you believe different, then please leave a comment in my comment section. I value my comments so much. I value them. I don't just read them, I value them. The neighbors have no idea. It's the people across the Holston River that helped them. He said, Deception Detective said they had help. He don't know when they got rid of Summer, but they got rid of Summer. They did. Dawn and Candace and Grandma knew about it. Grandma obtained narcotics for this reason. I don't make this crap up. The Wells wrote this crap and made it up and continue to push the narrative on what happened to their 5-year-old daughter, Summer Wells. Summer Moon Wells. We're going to drop that Utah because I don't like it. I know the abbreviation for Utah is UT, and to me that means nasty Don Wells. Don Wells did that. Don Wells was a scumbag in Tampa, Florida in 1990, and he's still a cocaine-smoking scumbag.
And personally, I think that selling her is not off the table. But the fact that Candace feels the need to tell us that Summer popped right up, as if that's surprising, is interesting. Right? And we'll just make note of it.
And I said, come on, let's get the groceries out. And we brought them all in the house, went through them all, did all that.
And this is her, that's her swing.
That's her swing right there.
Come show me her swing.
The more dogs on the property, the less likely it is that a kidnapper was able to sneak on the property without alerting the dogs. These dogs are a major plot hole to their story.
I know.
It's okay.
Okay. Sorry. So this is her swing.
That's her swing.
This is her playground.
Yep.
And she loved this area. Boy, you know, I'm looking at this, and this terrain, Candace, just strikes me as being so dense and just... Is that what they say, the dog trail? Where's this dog trail thing? That
I'm not sure, honestly.
So he just got her to admit that there's a ton of trails the dogs walk down, that the dogs are situated all over the property. So no matter which direction a kidnapper came from, how would she be able to conclude that the dogs didn't bark even though a kidnapper came onto the property. If I actually had all these dogs on my property, I would assume that it's not a stranger kidnapper who came onto my property. I would assume that Summer was hiding somewhere or ran off. The first thought in my mind would not be a kidnapping. Unless, of course, I was hoaxing and wanted everyone to think it was a kidnapping. Which, in my opinion, is what's going on here.
Out of the woods as we were pulling up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do that all the time.
Okay.
That trail right there, my boys, they ride those dirt bikes that are leaning against the truck over there. But yeah, they go down that trail with their dirt bikes and then come back up on the road, up on the driveway and go around and stuff.
What was it about this swing that is just so important for her?
She liked it. She just liked to swing. All the kids did.
Now, I don't want to talk about the boys right now because I know that's, you know, a tough another part of your heart, okay? Yeah. And that's none of my business.
Right.
I'm not here for any of it. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge anybody, right?
Right.
I'm here to talk about Summer and help you find Summer, okay? And help anybody help find her, okay? That messaging. Okay, so you go in the house.
Go in the house.
Can I follow you in, or do you comfortable with that? Huh?
I don't know what about doing. It's still the captain.
Okay. And is Summer? Where's Summer's bed?
Oh, it's in the basement.
Got it. Okay. So what happens when she comes in? The boys are playing where?
No, the boys are actually sitting here.
Okay.
And they're actually sitting right here at the table watching TV.
Okay, so they're at the table watching TV.
Or if you're listening on podcast mode, you can't see this, but this house is a mess. There's piles of clothing. There's clutter everywhere. It looks like an episode of Hoarders. Summer could have literally been in the same room as the boys, and if she was being quiet, nobody would have seen her. Or if she fell asleep again, like they said she was sleeping in the car, she could be napping on a pile of clothes somewhere and not be found. So the fact that the parents are so immediately conclusive that Summer was kidnapped is the red flag. There is no evidence of a kidnapping. So they violate this rule on my checklist already, the conclusiveness. As you can see, Chris has brought up the fact that the property is full of trees, there's a hill, there's dogs. Candace has not said at all, yeah, maybe she wandered off. Or it's possible she wandered off. We've searched, though. Right? She does not jump onto any of these other possibilities. Why? It seems like she's not curious about them. Why would she not be curious about whether or not Summer wandered off? Because she knows what happened to Summer.
And nobody could get in, nobody could get out.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Now, who's this on up here?
That's my little sister that's missing.
Oh, that's Rose.
That's Rosie.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow. And who's the guy?
That's her ex-husband.
Wow.
All right. Well, we walked up in here and we got Josie, Wyatt, and Waylon, the boys.
Right.
Well,
you put the groceries down, right?
Yeah. Well, we went back out and then we brought the groceries in and put them down. And then Mom, she took her stuff to her house, put her stuff away.
Okay.
And then, of course, me and Summer went back over, put our stuff away.
Okay. You went back in?
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. And then we were just doing normal stuff.
Okay.
On the house like we normally do. And I come out, Mom was sitting there at the time I come out and I'm standing here. Okay. I was like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? She's like, these plants, I gotta get them transplanted. I was like, well, Summer will help us, so I went back in. By that time, she was sitting on the floor.
All right, so notice how vague the day is. Remember, this is the day her daughter was allegedly kidnapped. She's here with a platform to talk about the day her daughter was kidnapped in front of hundreds of thousands of people. This live stream has 500,000 views. She doesn't talk about any of the people down at the creek with them. Zero detail about what they did. Maybe something they did would trigger an idea in someone's head about what could have happened to Summer. She doesn't capitalize on any of that. So she's vague about what they did. And now she's getting into her story that she's told us in a bunch of other interviews that we've analyzed before. This story about her grandma with the bum knee wanting to transplant flowers, wanting to do gardening. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely that an old woman with a bum knee who was in so much pain that she had to go pick up her prescription that same day would insist on doing gardening later that day? Is that likely? It's unlikely.
Floor playing with her toys.
Right here?
No, in the kitchen where we were just at.
Okay.
She was actually sitting on the floor playing with the toys at that time. I said, Summer, you want to help plant flowers? And she jumped up, left her toys and us, of course. That's cool.
Yeah,
Then we walked
that's
over
what kids do. It's their job.
What?
Okay.
We walked over here and we transplanted these cactuses from the little pots that they were in. And transplanted these ones here into this bigger pot and that one into that bigger pot. And she took the rocks that we've gotten from different gem mines when we went up to Gatlinburg and stuff.
Okay.
And she's the one that spreaded all the rocks around in here. And then she put her puppies in here and she wanted Chase in there, you know.
Okay.
That was cool.
Paw Patrol.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the police one.
Yep, that's Chase. He's always on the case.
Okay. Okay.
And we went
Oh,
in
I see another one over
Yep,
here.
She put him in there. Yep, you're on the cactus.
Okay. Don't take those out, okay?
No, I leave them right there.
I know.
And then we went in my mom's where we can't get in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Went in
We
there.
went in there and got some candy and stuff she gets from grandma.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm going to go back over to the house. She wanted to go back, so I figured I'd go back, you know.
Okay.
And I brought her, I literally walked over to here. Like, literally walked right to here where I could see the boys and on the kitchen table.
Got him.
And I watched her walk in there. And afterwards, when she was already in there, I walked over and I said, Wyatt. And he looked at me and I said, watch Sissy, I'll be right back. And that's when I walked back over to my mom's.
Okay.
And I was fixing her brace and stuff like that. And I said, well, Mom, I got to go back over with the kids. And that's when I come back up into the house.
Okay.
With the boys.
Okay.
Not that.
You walked into the house.
I walked into here. Get up. Get up. I walked in here and them three were sitting right here in row with their eyes glued to the TV, like always. And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this, because this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her.
Down.
All right. So we've heard her tell this story in a bunch of other interviews. It has the hallmarks of a scripted story in that it's beat for beat the same every time.
The abuse goes way back in Candace's family. Look at her Uncle Warren Hare. How do you think he became an abuser? Because he was abused. Grandma was probably abused, and that's why she became a lesbian. Candace is trying to look like a lesbian, and I don't know why. Well, maybe she's got something in her pants we don't know about. She claims to have one anyway. Maybe it's not in her pants. I don't really think Don's stepfather abused him. I think he's just Don. He's been like that all his life because his father let him do what he wanted to do, and he never had to serve any consequences until he was caught by the law, and he went to jail when he was 18 and got out when he was 20. And still tried to do the hanky-panky with little 13-year-old Jeannie. That's just Don Wells. Now everybody wanted to know why Grandma left so quick. She done used up 2 trips to the Holston Medical Center clinic to get pills. She went to Indiana to pill shop at another hospital. Then from there, I'm certain she went back to Wisconsin. See, they check the records now, but if you go to the hospital, you can get some pain medication from the hospital. Dudley said she went to the hospital about a week before Summer was reported missing. And then she went the day Summer was reported missing. That's twice in a week. Grandma most likely hit the Indiana hospital wide open when she got there. Was that Grandma's voice in the truck the day this picture was taken? In my opinion, yes, it was. It sounded just like her, and it made her right up in the part of it as Dawn and Candace, because she knows what happened to Summer. This was not an accident. This was an inside job. And you know how I know that? Simply for the fact that Don Wells had a monkey on his back at the time it happened. Don Wells had to get rid of Summer. Summer was a liability to Don's freedom, and time was growing short. But no neighbor had anything to do with this. It was Don Wells. He had to get rid of his liability. And Don Wells wasn't vocal about this. This was a secret of Don's. Candace might have knew about it, but not many people past Candace knew about it, unless it was people at Don's work, where he had Summer at work with him, and God only knows what happened to that little girl. You all heard what Don said about a film being made about Richard Tucker and Summer. See the part with Don and Summer. Don didn't tell anybody. He didn't go around advertising it. His neighbors knew nothing about it. But even at home, Don didn't keep it a secret. Candace had to know. And after that 911 call we heard, we know Candace knew, okay? That 911 call was October 20th, 2020. By November 14th, 2020, Candace sold Summer's toys on Facebook Marketplace. November 14th, she had it posted. I can't wait to see this one cross-examined in a court of law. It's going to be so interesting. I can't wait for this stuff to play out in a court of law and questions be asked these people. Don Wells and Candace Bly and Candace Hare know what happened to Summer Wells that day. They know. Summer's not there anymore. They had help from somebody else. We don't know when, but we do know why. Because Don Wells' daughter was a liability to his freedom. I believe Summer Wells was sacrificed for Don's sins that he committed on her. And if this is the case, all three of those people I just named need to be in prison for the rest of their lives. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Clip. Just keep Summer Wells' name out there, please. This case hasn't gone anywhere in almost 38 months. Please help Summer. I'm trying to get Aiden from the TheLoreLodge to check into Summer. If he'd look into it, he could get some answers.